Have you ever contemplated the darkest corners of the human psyche? What kind of person could commit heinous acts and feel no remorse? Before we delve into the chilling tale of Rana, let me recommend that you keep a light on for this one, because it's going to get dark. Rana, a character who embodies just that. A paradox of intelligence and ignorance, Rana was a man who defied standard categorization. He was a man who made his home within prison walls, and within him, a darkness resided that was beyond redemption. Personally, I am a strong believer in the potential for human redemption and second chances. However, among all the individuals I encountered in prison, Rana was one of the very few whom I considered beyond the possibility of rehabilitation. In extreme cases like these, I believe that capital punishment or castration may be justifiable sentences. A serial rapist and sex addict, Rana had thrice tied the knot and fathered 18 children. His first wife was a victim of his brutal lust, married to him as a twisted form of reparation after a horrifying rape. Rana's despicable desires were insatiable, relentless. His perverse pleasure stemmed from a dark corner of his psyche, a place where empathy and compassion didn't exist. It was in the resistance of his victims that an unwholesome delight, a twisted joy that he nurtured and cultivated for his own satisfaction. This was a sick game he played, a relentless cycle of torment and manipulation, not just with unsuspecting strangers, but also with his own wives. These games were not just sadistic, but they eroded the very foundation of their marital bonds. His wives, trapped in their own homes, became pawns for his amusement, subjected to his whims and fantasies. Their shared household became a playground for his perversions, a chamber of horrors hidden in the facade of a normal family home. The incident that finally led to Rana's downfall, however, was a shocking violation of trust and familial bonds. It was a heinous act that tore through the fabric of their family, shattering the illusions of safety and love that they had desperately clung to. Rana's unsuspecting daughter-in-law was to become his next ungodly prey. In a carefully calculated plan, he sent his son and the rest of the family away on a seemingly harmless outing, creating an excuse for their absence and making sure their dwelling was void of any human presence. It was on this grim day that he executed his foul plot. After ensuring he was alone with his daughter-in-law, he manipulated her into taking a drugged drink, plunging her into unconsciousness, and committed an act of heinous violation, rape. A monstrous act, the shocking reality of which she pieced together only after the stupefying fog of the drugs had lifted, leaving her in an abyss of shock and horror. The shockwaves of this violation rippled through her very being, echoing in the hollow silence of their deserted home. Upon the return of the family, she summoned her strength and confided in her husband, who was left thunderstruck, his faith in his father shattered. He dared to confront Rana, expecting denial or deflection, but was met with an even more chilling response. Rana, with an audacious calmness that rattled one's core, confessed to his appalling crime. He didn't just admit it, but he justified it with a warped logic that was enough to question the depths of his malignant depravity. His chilling audacity, his nonchalant acceptance of his sin, left a cold dread that was far more terrifying than his initial crime. His justification of his crime came in the form of a quote that shocked his son further. Loosely translated, Rana said, "You, my son, are the creation of my dick, so if it's your dick that penetrated her cunt, or mine, what difference does it make?" This horrifying justification only served to further exemplify Rana's dreadful depravity. His son and daughter-in-law, backed by their entire family, accused him of rape, resulting in his imprisonment. Yet, in the cold confines of Kot Lakhpat Jail, I encountered a scene that disturbed me to the core. Rana's brazen courage was met with a confounding proposal from his son and daughter-in-law, who were previously victims in this saga. This proposal was a shocker. The son and his wife, the alleged victim, put forth an unthinkable offer. In return for a small house and 800,000 Pakistani rupees, they offered to retract the charges against Rana. This jarring move, endorsed by the entire clan, spread a wave of shock. Initially incensed by Rana's crime, the son's proposition was met with a mix of incredulity and veiled consent. The dread of public disgrace made them contemplate this unthinkable pact. It was in these shadowy corners of the prison that the negotiations took a darker turn. Rana, reeling from the audacious proposal of his own son, began to weigh his options and tried to settle for a smaller settlement of cash, only amounting to 300,000 Pakistani rupees. The negotiations were as bitter. Each meeting was a standoff. Each conversation was a silent war of words and emotions between a father and son, with a silent but complicit daughter-in-law. At this moment, Rana, still behind bars, is attempting to put a price on his freedom. Rana's tale is a disconcerting testament to humanity's dark side. His character, devoid of remorse and driven by a perverse desire, reminds us of the evil that can lurk within. As we grapple with the aftermath of Rana's disturbing truth, we must confront the harrowing reality of his impending release. A man, a serial rapist, devoid of remorse and with no intention of changing, is set to walk free amongst us. The chilling thought of his freedom, bought by wealth and the willingness of his family to turn a blind eye, is a slap in the face of justice. The very fabric of our societal ethics is being torn apart as we are forced to question, can money really wash away sins? Is this what our system has come to? The unsettling reality of a remorseless criminal walking amongst us, the potential threat he poses to every unsuspecting individual he crosses paths with, is a wake-up call to the terrifying implications of a flawed justice system. This, dear viewers, is the ticking time bomb we are left with. The moral consequences of such a decision are enormous, essentially green-lighting his heinous acts and tarnishing our societal conscience. As we conclude this narrative, we're left with a disconcerting sense of injustice and a dire warning of the society we could devolve into if we persist in ignoring such atrocities. Thank you for watching AIK Dastan, where every tale is a testament to the human spirit and every voice resonates with the truth as they perceive it.